I want to ask Tim about the focus the last couple of days. Have you felt a renewed focus after the loss?
I mean, it's regular, you know. I mean, yeah, it's just regular. I think we've all had focus since the beginning of the season. I don't think focus is. If you got to worry about focus in the National Football League, then you got bigger problems, And we all know how serious this win is for us. We all know the type of situation that we're in. And yeah, we need to go ahead and win these games now, and instead of waiting to the end of the season, praying and hoping for wins to get in the playoffs. So all these wins count, and we need as many as we can get to start the season off.
What do you think about Najee Harris and what he's done so far? Steelers running back.
Naja?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. All these Alabama guys are great players. It doesn't matter if they're first rounders, second rounders, free agents. Anybody that comes from Alabama, Ohio State, Texas A&M, these guys can play some ball, for sure.
How do you approach Big Ben at this point? I mean, there's been a lot of criticism of it, talk of even him benching. What do you see? Do you just say it? You just he's the guy he's always been?
Yeah, I see the same old Big Ben. I see the same old Big Ben. The guy, he can still throw the ball down the field. He still throws the ball pretty quick. He still can break a couple of tackles and get the ball away. Yeah, I see the same old Big Ben for sure.
Vaughn, was it frustrating for you as a pass rusher to be told many times not to pass rush last week?
I mean, at the beginning of the week, one of our keys to win is we have to play unselfish football, and we got to play team ball. And I knew that if I took, my normal rushes and I got behind Lamar, that I would create lanes that, we wouldn't be able to recover from. So it's just some of the things that you just gotta, you just gotta, go out there and do it. I was still able to get a, half sack, so it's all good. But I just didn't want to give him the lane, especially, I got Shelby Harris and, Draymond Jones inside of me. I didn't want to give him a lane where he could just run to the outside by time to throw the ball, or even worse, give him a lane where he can run up the field and get 45, 50 yards, and we've all seen him do that. So it was just one of those games where you had to play team ball, and, I'm happy that I was still able to, get on the board on the sack total, but, we didn't get the win, and, it's good to go back to playing normal football versus a team that's going to drop back and pass the ball normally. They still have some things that they do a little unique than the other teams. They're Big Ben is a master with the RPO. They run a lot of draws. If you give Najee Harris any type of lane on the inside, he can take it 30, 40 yards. We see it on film every day. So they still have some unique plays and they still have a unique style, but it's not like the Baltimore Ravens for sure.
Vaughn, you played with Ben for the first time in the playoff game at the end of your rookie year. What do you just kind of remember about that first matchup with him, and then obviously getting him down on that last drive?
I mean, yeah, he's dang, that was what, 10 years ago, 11. Yeah, I just remember him, being extremely big. He didn't throw the ball as fast, back then. He was kind of, trying to find, the open receiver, and he kind of had the strength and everything back then to do it. He could just sit in the pocket and wait for these guys to come open. But I just remember that you had to tackle his arm. I was able to knock the ball out. I remember just going for the ball. I wasn't even thinking about being. And we played him the first game of the season to start up my second year, and I just went for the ball each and every time, and that's really where I adopted, the way I play. I really don't even see the quarterback. I just go for the ball every single time. So it's no matter how big they are, no matter how strong they are. In this case with Big Ben, I'm going for the ball every time.
In terms of difficulty to bring down, where does Big Ben stack up compared to other quarterbacks you've faced in your career?
I mean, you got all different types. You got Russell Wilson. You got Lamar Jackson. We played last week. You got a Patrick Mahomes who could throw it left-handed. We got. We got all different guys, but as far as big and strong, Josh Allen, he's pretty big as well. But as far as big and strong and can stiff arm guys and still throw it, Big Ben is just Big Ben is he's in a lane of his own for sure.
Mon, what do you respect about T.J. Watt's game?
I respect his relentless pursuit to the ball. I remember seeing a couple of plays I think 2 years ago where it wasn't even about pass rush or getting tackles for loss or in the run. He would chase the ball down 20 yards down the field and cause a fumble, and that was something that I wanted to put in my game, a relentless pursuit to the ball. And, anybody can, everybody's good is good in this league. Anybody's best rush is good enough, to be all pro. But, how good is like your bad? How good is, when they complete passes? How good do you look on those plays? And, TJ Watt, he looks good on all of those plays. He's able to run down the ball, play the run. He's the same size as these offensive linemen. He could just, him and his brother, they have like this little power like shift move where they show power and they shift to the outside. And, with their size and their power, the guys have to respect it. And they're just able to just slip past these offensive linemen. So TJ Watt is a hell of a player. I was able to spend time with at the Pro Bowl, a couple of times. Huge respect for him and his game. And, we gotta keep our offensive line straight so we can keep these sack numbers close. But I got a huge respect for TJ Watt for sure.
You've talked about how you removed yourself from social media. You get on the app and then get back off. You used to document your life on social media.
Yep.
Has that helped in a week like this for your well-being? How has that
Yeah.
translated this year for being on?
I think especially after losses too. I really don't pay attention to that stuff. It's just, after win is, social media is great for everybody. You're looking at social media and it's, you could just look at whatever and everything is good. Everything feels good. But I think after losses and, times of adversity is where it really helps keep you even-minded. And, I just feel like, I've done everything that you could possibly do on social media. I've documented my life, like you said. Been on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I've had a Facebook show. I've been a social media guru for a long time. I've tried just about everything except this, and it feels good to be on social media. It feels good to just have an even mind and just worry about, family, football, and my son, and being a great teammate. So, I just kind of minimize my focus, and social media will always be there. Social media will always be there, and whenever I need it, I get on there, post something, and I get right back off. So, I've just been trying to distance myself, and it does feel really, really good to, have an even mindset no matter if we win or lose, and I can come in here to the facility and be the same Von that everybody needs me to be. So it feels good.
Was any of that from Kobe? Because he was one that eliminated like all distractions.
No, I actually got it from LeBron James, and I tried it in 2015 when we went to the playoffs and we were able to get the number 1 seed. And I told myself, like, hey, I'm getting off social media. We didn't know if it was going to truly be Peyton's last year, but all the signs were saying like, this might be, Peyton's last year. And I just wanted to maximize my opportunity of having a number 1 seed going to the playoffs. So I did a social media blackout, and we went on a tear, in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. So I always identified that being helpful to me and my mental health. So I just wanted to bring it into, a season like this where, trying to get the most out of my game, 32 years old, trying to be, the player that I was and then some. So I just wanted to, really just stack everything in my favor. So taking a break for social media is something that I decided to do.
Arnie, last question.
You've been highly complimental of a lot of the rookies on defense, but I'm wondering about Javonte. Can you remember seeing a guy drag a cornerback 20 yards like he didn't love it?
Man, the guy is so incredible when it comes to breaking tackles. I just wanted to test it out one day. I tried to trip him in the hallway, and he just kind of like, rolled off of it and kept going. I was like, bro, he just has like a sixth sense when it comes to like breaking tackles. He's just incredible. His center of balance is incredible. I've never seen a play like that. I've been in the league 11 years. I've never seen a guy, break tackles for 40 yards straight and then almost tumble in the end zone. So he's a hell of a player for us. He's a hell of a compliment for him and Melvin's game. Both of those guys can break tackles. But it's just a great switch up, to have Javonte go in there and do the things that he do. He's a hard runner. He means business. For the longest, I thought that, he didn't like me at first because when he first got here, he kind of stepped on my foot, and I looked at him and I was like, bro, what's going on? He kind of gave me this look. I'm like, oh, this rookie's different right here. This rookie means business. But, you fast forward and you get to know your teammates and stuff, and he's a hell of a player. And I'm so, happy that he's on our team and I'm not out there trying to tackle him.
Would you have felt bad if he fell down?
No, it wasn't a serious trip, but I just wanted to see, where it was at. And, he's like, he definitely has, a sixth sense for sure when it comes to breaking tackles. He just knows, he just understands his body. He knows when to put his arm down. And one of the most things that I really, appreciate is, his ball protection. Usually when rookies get in there and they're running like that and they're having success, they have a couple of fumbles as well. And, I think Javonte, he's only had one on the goal line, and that was just to hit perfectly on the ball. Like anybody would have fumbled that. I probably would have fumbled that ball, and I don't really fumble like that. So, he's a hell of a player for us, and he's going to have a long career, here with the Denver Broncos, and I'm excited to see the future for him, for sure.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Thanks.